Hi everyone, it's Tucker with Delta Drive Design. Welcome back. I know it's been a while since I've posted because of, life and work and I don't know how people do it. Another couple decades of this stuff. I just want to retire and work on the fun projects. But anyways, I want to introduce you to another project. I didn't want a project, but it kind of fell in my lap. This is Blitzy. So I got this guy actually approached my family. So, about 6 months ago or so. And he's had this thing. This thing's been in his family forever. And he's getting to that age where he's got too many projects, needs to offload some things. And so he approached my mom because we have, a few Jeeps parked out of her place, and he lives back a little behind where she lives. So he's been driving by there for decades. So he knew my family. He's known we've had Jeeps forever. So he approached her, and he's like, "Hey, like I'm looking to get rid of this Jeep. Like I'm looking for a family or someone who knows these Jeeps and will take care of them and keep it local." That was his main thing. He wanted to still see it around, make sure it stays in Colorado. So kind of backstory on it. So it turns out, so this is a 61, I believe. Yeah, 61 FC-150 150. Wide wheelbase, which is typical for that year. Someone bought it, a plow company bought it in 61, and the owner or operator, he had a heart attack shortly thereafter, and so he ended up selling it after like a year or two. This guy bought it from his father-in-law. His father-in-law used it as a plow vehicle to plow his driveway. He lived up kind of by Longmont, up in the foothills of Longmont. West side of Longmont. So he had like a long, half-mile long driveway. He needed to plow it. So that's what he used this for. He did that from what, 62-ish up till early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And then he was getting too old, and so he wanted to get rid of it. And so he sold it to his son-in-law, who lived up up in Loveland, like a 44H, back there by the old junkyard west of town. Again, foothills, had a driveway, real steep driveway. And he needed something to plow. So he ended up buying this from his father-in-law. And then he had it from late 80s, early 90s up until 6 months ago. So again, it never really saw a road. They just used it for plowing their driveways and whatnot. And then a little in the 90s, it had developed, paint faded, whatever, and so he had auto body shop in Loveland, or 4x4 shop in Loveland, rebuild it for him. Just kind of, they parked it in the back whenever they had time, they'd work on it. And so I don't know, they had it for a year plus, whatever, and they just kind of worked on it. Maybe a trade deal, I'm not sure, but that's why it's in pretty good shape. Like the paint's pretty dang good. There's not a lot of rust on it because they've been through it all. Overall, like, it's a really good truck. Like, yeah, I'll give you a little walk around just a second. They called it Blitzy, so I ended up keeping the name. I got a license plate for it, which is Blitzy. So, true to its name, it's lived here its whole life, keep its heritage. And here we are. So I'll give it a little walk around. Let's see. I might switch to wide angle. So, it's got a little fade, but shoot, for, they painted this mid-90s or so, and it's doing pretty dang good. It's lived outside, as far as I know, up on the foothills of Loveland. Had a plow on it. I've still got the plow. I took it off because it's not fun to drive around with big old heavy plow on the front. So it's over there at my parents' place. But yeah, it's a 7-foot blade. Hydraulics were leaking pretty bad. Actually, I couldn't get it to articulate to the driver's side when I picked it up. And then when I got it here, it kind of worked, but it leaked really bad. I would leak a huge puddle of oil every time I would try to use it. So I ended up rebuilding just the pump section of it, and that solved that problem. Now it goes left, right, up, down, perfect. So next snow season, it'll be awesome. And I've got a couple little videos. I'll post those when we get done walking around of it plowing around, it does pretty good. I mean, I'm not a plow driver, so I need to learn how to run the plow without damaging the road and whatnot. So it's got plow, it's got the F head. If you can see that little F head. F-134 4-cylinder. Interior is pretty dang good. The headliners, I mean, they always rot out. It's gone. But it's got the door panels. It's even got the kick panels. Open the door. Which I've never seen the kick panels. That's never survived a vehicle I've seen because we always get them after the mice do. Which there was a little mice nest in here, and I cleaned that out and steamed the whole interior. Got it pretty clean. But no rust. I mean, no rust in the floorboard at all. No rust in the doors. No rust in the corners. I mean, corners are perfect. Like, really no rust at all. It's got your typical door damage that you see. I assume the wind catches the door and folds it back. I'm not really sure how it happens, but I know the door stop isn't great, which I always pay attention to that when I'm opening the door so you don't overextend it. But clearly that happened on this one, and then they used a lot of Bondo to fix it, and so the Bondo's failing. I'm not going to do anything with it again. Like, I don't need another project. I just want to drive this around. It's in really good shape for what it is. The guy damn near gave it to me. So it's really important that I take care of it and make sure it runs well, because he trusted me with his collector item. So really good paint. This side's doesn't have any of that door damage, because they probably never used this door, because again, it was a plow vehicle and only one person was probably ever in it. We got bed's in really good shape. I mean, the rails, there's not a dent in the rails. They never use this for really anything besides plowing. Had a load of cinder blocks back here. They're in the backyard. I'll put them. I'll use either those or a different counterweight in the winter, because it needs a little something in the back for the plow. Looks like they rhino lined it when they had it rebuilt. And actually, he had this is the skirt that goes on the bumper. That's the original color of it from 1961. So they matched it pretty well. If I ever do any body work, it'll be good. Or like if I fix the Bondo to have some original colors. The bed or the tailgate was in really good shape. There's no major dents or anything. Well, I can't really tell because the heavy rhino line. I mean, it's 1/8-inch rhino line. But I mean, didn't look like it was bad. But for whatever reason, I think the guys who rebuilt it were kind of a hot rod shop, because they did things to me that were hot roddy. For whatever reason, I mean, there was probably a few dents in here, but they flushed out these not raised panels, embossed panels, but they're not even embossed. It's just because there's structure welded to it. But anyways, they backfilled this with Bondo. So I mean, there's an 1/8-inch amount of Bondo in these two pieces. So of course it's failing, which I'll probably find some adhesive and try to bond it back, because again, I'm not gonna dig in on anything until it's absolutely necessary. So if I can stretch it out another 10 years or so before I have to worry about it. I mean, very little damage on the bed. Sides are great. Some little clear coat damage back there. I mean, it's in really good shape. Fuel tank, it's got a little leak, but nothing crazy. The plow attachment, they actually have a good one. A lot of people just hang the plow off the front of the frame. This one actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it attaches to the frame, yes, but then on the upper part, but then the lower part attaches to the axle and then cantilevers back to the frame. So it's not hanging on entirely the springs all the time, which is really good. It'll help those springs last a little longer. But they're a little flat, but they still have a tiny bit of arch in them, which is good. So I've got some videos of it driving around. Now, the reason it's in the garage is I've been slowly taking it on longer drives to kind of check the system out. I've been getting coolant system flushed out, electrical system figured out, because it hasn't really run. I mean, it's just been a driveway thing. When I picked it up, almost got it started. It hadn't started in a couple years. Almost had it started so I could drive it on the trailer, which would have been super helpful because his driveway is like a switchback up the side of a mountain. So getting the trailer up there, I tried backing it up. I don't have the skills to do a switchback backwards. I don't know. I'm sure someone can, but I can't do it. And so I ended up having to drive up straight and then Austin Power the trailer, in his parking lot, which is on the side of a hill. I mean, I got it, but it wasn't fun. So I got to turn around and point it downhill, and I was able to, since I couldn't get it started, I didn't want to waste too much more time. Ended up just pushing. He had it parked kind of up on a hill, and just pushed it back enough to get it pointed down the road, and pushed it right up on the trailer downhill, which worked really well. I used like a little winch. I don't know if it was in one of the videos, but the winch I put on the front of my dad's trailer, Predator Harbor Freight winch. I was able to use that. I needed that to pull it up the last couple of feet up on the trailer. But yeah, so I got it there, got it home, put a new carb in it, and that's all it needed. Fired right up. Runs great. You still have to get it to start. It's a little cold-blooded. It won't generally start on choke, so I'll do the trick where pull off the intake, put your hand on it to like super choke it, just to get the fuel. And I don't know if like the fuel lines have a leak in it or something, or the fuel pump has a failed check valve or something, but I think all the fuel is running back to the tank or draining in a low point in the line, so it just takes a bit to get the fuel primed to the system. So yeah, so you put your hand on the intake. It's an old trick I've seen from the old timers, mostly to get like a clog out of a jet or something, as you essentially clog your intake so that all of the vacuum is going through your fuel system. But you do that, I mean, it fires right up. So the reason it's in here is I've been slowly driving it out, and I finally took it on a longer drive. I've been going like 5 miles, 10 miles, and I took it on a 15-mile drive down to Longmont and back, or not Longmont, like Broomfield, to ironically pick up a spare engine core that my brother found, just for, whenever I need something to rebuild. It was cheap. And also, I'd pick up some rims. This thing's got studded snow tires on it, which are the most terrible tire. I will never, ever buy studded tires. I think they should be banned. I mean, I've barely done anything with it, and I've like destroyed my driveway. Peeled out once trying to back up onto the driveway, and that rear tire spun and left big old scores in the concrete. And then just now dragging it up into here, I moved it, didn't realize there was a chalk under one of the tires because it was the same color as the tire. It blended in and dragged a couple feet and scratched the concrete up. So those need to go. But anyway, so I was driving to Broomfield to pick up some rims, because these rims aren't original. They're, I don't know, just some like steel spoke tires. I mean, generic, but they have the wrong width on it, because I want to run original period correct tires. I got some Power King, knobby looking tires I want to run out of that are the right height. These are like an inch too small, and they're studded, and they're terrible. So I bought some original rims. Actually, they're back here. You may have seen them. Yeah, so these are the original rims that go on like a CJ5. The correct width, with they're 5 inches wide, inside to inside. So these are going to go on there. I've got the tires. I'm going to probably sandblast these and powder coat them white, and then get the tires mounted and balanced, and we'll be back in business. But while I'm driving down there, it's running great. Get it down to Broomfield. Just take all the back roads, going 40, 45 max. Then on the way back, stop, had dinner. On the way back, cruising up a hill. I get to the top of the hill, start going down. Like, it's acting a little funny. Like, it just doesn't seem to have as much power. And then going down the hill, suddenly I lose all power. The rear wheels lock up. And the rest is history. Engine locked up. So as far as I can tell, I lost oil pressure. I don't know if the oil pump's been going out or developed an oil leak suddenly. The oil is a little low, but not low enough that I don't think it should have caused that, but who knows? Maybe, yeah, again, I don't know, fuel pump or oil pump went out or something. But anyways, it locked up, screeched to a halt over in Erie. I was able to get someone to come pick me up, go back home. It was like 9 o'clock. Get to Home Depot right before they close, get hardware. Was able to mock up the tow bar on it. Ended up just drilling a hole through the frame, through the plow frame, and that worked perfect. Did that on the side of the road and got home about 11 o'clock. Pulled it in the driveway. Tow's great. I've never bumper pulled a Jeep FC before, but it was awesome. Pulled it behind the Ranger. It was awesome. It tracked great. Probably the best. I've towed the Ranger. I've towed a Toyota before on that tow bar, and this is by far the best. And maybe it's because all the weight's on the front tires, so it tracks better. I don't know, but anyways, I got it here. I've been trying the ATF and or Marvel's Mystery Oil and ATF trick, try to break the engine free. Which at the end of the day, even if I get it to break loose, I still don't trust it now. So now, but I couldn't get it to break loose. Rocking it, soaking the pistons. So I think one of the pistons probably just ate itself and it's bonded to the cylinder wall. So out's coming the engine, which I will do that in a different video. I'm probably not even going to show the removal. Maybe might show the removal process, but I'll show the engine teardown because it's middle of June. I read a lot of truck shows. I was looking forward to bringing this to. That's why I've been driving around. I got an overdrive I'm going to put in it, which I have half a video on that one. I've got a bunch of half videos I've started and haven't finished, so I'll get those uploaded eventually. But yeah, anyways, I got an overdrive for it. I'm gonna put it's a 25% overdrive, made by. It's not a Saturn one, which is your typical one. It's drawing a blank right now. Well, it'll be in that video, but it's one that's actually made. It's a clone of the Saturn made back in the 60s and 70s, made in Longmont, Colorado. Found it on eBay, talked him down. The guy was, he's a collector, of course. He goes online, does these are selling for $1,200 on eBay, and that's what he wants for it. But I was able to talk him down a lot. Being like, dude, you have this thing taken apart. I don't know anything about it. You can't ask damn near new prices when you can go to Herm, the overdrive guy, and buy a brand new one for $1,300 with the 30% reduction. So I got him talked way down, which was good because I ended up getting it, and I, for some reason, thought it was a 26 tooth transfer case. I think everything I looked at. I didn't. It was cold. It was winter at the time. I didn't want to pop the transfer case open to count the teeth. I just trusted my research. Well, I was looking at CJ2A, the inch and 16th inch output shaft, and this has 1 1/4 inch output shaft, which means it's a 29 tooth. So that sucked, which means I had to go back to Herm, be like, hey, I screwed up, which I'm sure he makes a lot of money off people like us or me who do exactly this, get the wrong tooth count, and now you're buying a new bull gear, whatever you call it. But yeah, that main gear, but he was able to sell it to me for $290 or whatever. So I'm still into it way less than a new one. But it just kind of sucks that I had to do that, which was actually good because this guy being a collector, it was rusty on that bull gear, and he of course cleaned it up so you couldn't tell. Kind of real unethical. So I couldn't have ever actually used that gear if I wanted to. So it's good that I'm getting a new one. But yeah, so I've got that all cleaned up and ready to go back together. I just need to cut gaskets for it, put that together, and then install it. But now I'm pulling the engine out. I'm going to do a full rebuild on the engine. I'll probably do an overhaul on the transmission and transfer case, just a gasket change or maybe some basic bearings, because there's a lot of things leaking on it. And maybe that's part of the issue. I thought there were transmission leaks. The transmission fluid was all low. I topped those all off before I took it on a long drive. But maybe it was the engine that was also contributing to the leaks. And while I was driving, maybe I know the rear main seal on these is like this rope gasket thing, or I've heard it is. I've never torn one of these apart. Um, but maybe that failed again. I don't know. Lost oil pressure and locked her up, which really sucks. But I got to get it back together. So that's Blitzy. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about on it. Getting a little long on this video. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get this up in the air, start pulling the engine out, and then we will see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See ya.